Hello cozies. This month has been filled with some glorious springtime moments. As we've gotten to observe more blossoms growing, the grass becoming greener, and animals beginning to enjoy the new season. Our garden has begun to change too, and it's been wonderful to see our miniature cherry blossom bloom again. We visited one of our favourite Cotswolds garden centres in early April. The displays they set up for their customers make this our favourite place to potter around and look for new springtime seeds. Look how perfect each and every tulip looks. I am always in love with the geraniums, and I am hoping to have my own little collection in our home in the future. Of course, it was Easter this month, and I found it especially joyous to see all the seasonal decor around the place. There were the most spectacular array of Easter eggs that were completely out of my price range, but it was nice to look at them. Spring truly is one of my favourite times of year. And there is nothing like watching the baby lambs run around. I love how people often put out homemade foods by their homes in the Cotswolds. When I used to visit here from London, we saw some rhubarb on the side of the road that said "help yourself." My dad immediately grabbed some, and I asked him at the time, bewildered, what if it's been poisoned? He laughed. He was born here in the Cotswolds, so he knows how kind people are around here. As you know, I've recently started to enjoy collecting teapots this season. It's become this new part of my life, and I especially enjoy looking for second-hand and interestingly unique ones. Unfortunately, as I've ordered some online, it means there is a chance of breakage, and this one arrived broken. It was such a beautiful teapot and would have been absolutely perfect for my spring-themed decor. But alas, I have had to move on, and so I have found this sunflower teapot that will be perfect for the summer season. I don't like to skip ahead, as I believe in seasonal living, but sometimes I do like to prepare for the future seasons, especially as I'm always thrifting second-hand items. So I would try and buy something when I see it, especially if it's a unique item. Sunflowers are one of my favourite flowers, and so this is something I've been looking for a while now, a sunflower teapot. Speaking of thrifting, I went on a few trips this month to see what I could find. I didn't buy much, just some Easter gifts for my family, but I really love looking at everything. I feel like each item you find in a charity shop or second-hand store has a story, so I am always happy to give something I like a new home. I try to be intentional in what I'm buying, as otherwise I'll have no space left. As you know, my style is always seasonally themed, with elements of nature, forest core and cottagecore. So as it's quite specific, it's especially interesting to look out for something I take a liking to. always taken a liking to vintage clocks. My mama recently found my nanny's clock, who was my mother's mother, so I will be bringing that into our new flat with me, with all my teapots, of course. I didn't really find any teapots I liked on these little trips, but I did buy the one on the right with the wooden handle and purple flowers. It was £2.50 and I liked how it looked and felt in my hands. I received this little miniature coffee house. I'm excited to build it next month before my trip to Finland. It's not a company I've used before, but their products seem really lovely, and I was also sent another miniature from them to make on my gamer account Sammy's Forest. It doesn't look too complicated either, and I love that the coffee house expands out so you can look inside more. I am excited to start this set. I started a new series, Chronically Cozy, a short form series where I make a reel and post most weeks to talk about my chronic illnesses and why I have taken on a life of coziness and slow living. I didn't get a choice in slowing down, my body did that for me, but I did choose to embrace it and to cozy up in this whole process. Perhaps people look in at my life and see a beautiful view, some wonderful teapots and think, I have it made. But I don't want people to think that, as I do not want to ever isolate anyone in my journey of content creation. I want people to understand that slow living isn't just something that is for the rich. It's a way of life that has been used for centuries, yet due to the fast pace of life now, we've needed a whole movement to help people slow down in life. I never miss my city life, but I do still sometimes feel that I should be moving faster and doing more. Sometimes if I get too busy, it can be hard to stop until my body gives me a flare-up and forces me to slow down. It's as if moving at a faster pace is addictive due to the feeling of purpose it brings to us. I have lost count the amount of times people have said to me, I don't have time to slow down. But you do. You have to sleep. We all have to wind down. And even if you're constantly busy, you can take even a minute to listen to your breathing and stop for a moment. Slow living doesn't happen overnight. It's taken me years to get to this point and lots of practice. Slow living is like a form of meditation, a mindfulness technique, and I hope in the future I can show more people how it is possible. As it's Easter, I took a trip to the House of Taylor of Gloucester, a little museum shop based on College Court. This is the place Beatrix Potter was inspired to write The Tailor of Gloucester, a book that she herself described as her favourite book. The inspiration for this story came in May 1894, when Beatrix was staying with her cousin Caroline Hutton. Whilst there, Caroline told Beatrix the curious tale of a local tailor, John Pritchard. As he closed his shop one Friday evening with a waistcoat cut out but not sewn together, he was surprised to discover on Monday morning that apart from one buttonhole, the waistcoat had been sewn together. A tiny note was pinned to the buttonhole reading, "No more twist." The tailor was bewildered that the work had been finished short of completion. From this date, he advertised his work as being made at night by fairies. On hearing this, Beatrix requested that they visit the tailor's shop. Whilst visiting, Beatrix sketched some of the beautiful buildings in the cathedral city of Gloucester, including College Court. I decided I would make Beatrix Potter carrot cakes for Easter and surround us with everything Peter Rabbit. I've always loved carrot cakes, even since I was a kid. My parents didn't like my favourite cake, that is chocolate cake, so they never really made it. They would often make their favourite cakes, like fruit cake and Bakewell tart. But when we were out, we'd sometimes have carrot cake, and that was something I could greatly enjoy. carrots are one of my favourite vegetables. I found some wonderful Beatrix Potter cupcake cases and some little cake toppers to really go with my theme. My hands started to really hurt, and so I called on my dad to help with the icing. He's always up for helping me, and more than anything, his favourite job is as a taste tester. I am so lucky to have my parents around to help me. My mama was also in the kitchen around to make sure I was okay and if I needed a hand. She is also a wonderful baker, and so she always gives me tips and advice on what to do when I get stuck. I often do get stuck and overwhelmed as my pains start up badly, and so I take lots of breaks. It is time to set up our Easter afternoon tea. My dad found a branch for me to decorate, and my mama has all of these amazing egg decorations that I could use. We are a team, and I can't wait for Callie to join our little family in the future. We've had some of these decorations for years and years, like the bunny on the left. I remember coming downstairs where my mama had set up an Easter-themed scene for me and my brother. I think a lot of my attention to detail I get from her, and my skill of setting up seasonal scenes wherever I go. I am really happy with how my cupcakes turned out. I have to say, they were absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for watching, cozies. Please do subscribe, like and comment so I can get to my dream of 1,000 subscribers. See you next month. See you next month.